you want to become a lead machine, then watch this video from beginning to end because I'm going to walk you through the process on how to do it. And make sure that you stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you my lead management system. If you plan on generating leads, then you need to know exactly how to convert a lead to a client. Hi, my name is Ahmad Homidi and I'm a realtor with over 20 years of real estate experience. And if you feel like you are stuck currently in your career and you really want to kick it up to the next level, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link down in the description below so that we can talk about you partnering up with me here at eXp Realty and really taking your career to the next level. In a second, I'm going to display all the different ways that you can generate leads. And before I get into that, it's important for me to mention that in this video, I'm just going to list them out. I'm not really going to get into how to do all of these different lead activities. That's going to be something that I will cover in upcoming videos, which is why it's important for you to like this video and for you to subscribe so that you can be notified when those videos come out on YouTube. Chances are you are watching this video sometime in the future, and it's very likely that those videos currently exist on my channel. So you can also go into my channel and see if those videos are available for you to watch. With all of that said, let's get into the list of all of the different ways that you can generate leads. So as you can see, this is a list of free buyer lead sources, and they include open houses, sphere of influence or referrals and networking, social media, YouTube videos, Facebook Marketplace posts, Craigslist property posts, and Facebook groups. And moving on are the paid buyer lead sources, which include Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google pay-per-click, Google local service ads, paid leads through Zillow or Realtor.com or any other paid service, hiring a marketing company to generate buyer leads for you, and then a real estate website with lead capture. So that's very important. Just having a real estate website does not guarantee that you're going to generate leads unless it has specific lead capture technology. Moving on to seller lead sources are open houses, sphere of influence, referrals and networking, social media, YouTube, starting a Facebook community group, cold calling or door knocking, and then paid seller lead sources include Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google pay-per-click, Google local service ads, paid leads through Zillow, Realtor.com, etc., farming, mailers, postcards, and door-to-door flyers, basically print media, and then hiring a marketing company to target seller leads on your behalf. That was a quick look at different ways in which you can generate buyer leads and seller leads, and I broke them down for you on free versus paid lead sources as well. And I think it makes sense for us to look at the lead sources from fastest to slowest. So here's a breakdown of that. Going from left to right, you'll have your fastest lead sources on the left-hand side, and then on the bottom right-hand side, mailers and postcards would be your slowest lead sources. And then what I've done is I've further broken down all the different lead sources into another category between active prospecting lead sources and passive prospecting lead sources. Active prospecting is when you are doing the outbound reach. So like cold calling or door knocking, you are the one that's initiating the contact. Passive prospecting is when you send out your mailers or do some form of advertising, and then you sit back and you wait for the prospects to call you. So I've broken them down into those two different categories, and here they are. When we look at active prospect lead sources, they are cold calling, whether that's circle prospecting, calling for sell-by owners or expireds, door knocking, open houses, networking, contacting your sphere of influence, paid ads through Facebook, Google, or YouTube. Now this actually is both active prospecting and passive. I have it here on active prospecting because usually what happens is when you have a Facebook ad, you can turn on your ad and leads will start to come in right away. And then you physically have to get on the phone and contact them within minutes of getting that lead. So it's a combination of both passive and active lead sources. Same thing if you pay a marketing firm. They're going to generate leads and then they're going to actively contact that lead right away. And your passive prospecting lead sources are YouTube videos, social media, farming, print advertising, Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, and Craigslist property posts. All right, so I've broken down all of the different ways that you can generate leads, and now what you have to do is you have to go through that list and you need to identify 5 different lead sources that you want to implement into your business. Now it's important that you select 5 and then you stick to those 5 lead sources. If you only have 1 or 2 lead sources, you're just not going to generate enough leads to really become as successful as you want to be. So it's important that you select 5 different lead sources. So when choosing the 5 best lead sources for your business, what you really need to do is the following 3 things. Number 1 is to identify the lead source that best fits your personality. If you are somebody that is outgoing and maybe you're an extrovert, it might make sense for you to choose from the active prospecting lead sources, and perhaps cold calling and door knocking are 2 lead sources that you want to implement into your business because it gives you control on when you are reaching out to clients rather than having to wait for them to contact you. However, if you're an introvert, I can't think of 2 things that would be more gut-wrenching for you than cold calling or door knocking, so I definitely wouldn't recommend those 2 lead sources for you because you probably would hate coming into work every day just to cold call or door knock, and eventually you're just going to stop doing it, which might lead you to leave the business of real estate, which I don't want for you. So it's very important for you to choose 5 lead sources that best match your personality. The second thing you need to do is choose between lead sources that are free and paid. You need to pick a lead source that best matches your budget. Now the good thing is I've broken them down into free lead sources and paid lead sources, which is going to make it easy for you to pick your 5 different lead sources. And the third thing that you need to do is you need to look through all of the different lead sources, really understand how they work, and then you need to focus on the buyer or the seller's intent. What is the amount of intent behind each lead source? And then what is the period of time that it's going to take to generate a lead and then convert that lead into a client? Take all of that into consideration. That is step number 3. So let me give you an example. It's very easy to generate leads from Facebook. It's almost like turning on a faucet. If I turn on my Facebook ads, leads are going to pour right out. But I do need to take into consideration that it's very relatively easy to generate Facebook leads, but the conversion period is much more difficult. There's not a lot of intent behind Facebook leads. Basically, this is somebody that's sitting on their couch and they're scrolling across their phone. They happen to see your ad and they click on it. That's it. That's a Facebook lead. So it could be somebody that's really interested in what you have to offer, and it could be somebody that's not interested at all and they were just curious to see what your ad was about. Now, if you contrast that with the lead that comes in from an open house, this is somebody that probably has been on their laptop all day. They've identified homes that they are interested in. They've mapped out where those properties are, and they looked online to see when the homes are going to be held open, and they wanted to make sure specifically that they went over the weekend so that they can take a look at that home from the inside. There's a lot of intent there. So that is what we call a high quality lead versus a Facebook lead, which is a low quality lead. So that's what I want you to also focus on when you're putting together your list of 5 different lead sources. Once you've implemented the 5 different lead sources into your business, you need to be very consistent with it, and in no time you are going to become a lead machine. Once you become a lead machine, you really need to have a system in place on how you are going to track and convert those leads. So let me share with you my lead management system. So if we were to look at the top left, you can see the 5 lead sources that I focus on for my business, and they are YouTube, Facebook ads, Google paid ads, social media, and open houses. The top portion for my flow for buyer leads, and then the bottom portion is the flow for seller leads. Now, if we were to go up to the top portion for buyer leads, I do those 5 activities on a daily basis, weekly basis, and monthly basis, and they generate me a ton of leads. Those leads automatically are entered into my CRM, and then I follow up immediately with phone calls, and then I continue to follow up periodically to continue to nurture that relationship. Those buyer leads are going to get MLS strip campaigns as well as emails from my CRM. They are going to receive automated texts, and then I always request for leads to follow me on social media. So that way, that's just another way I can stay on top of mind. And then over time, through constant contact, those leads will be converted into clients. I'll work with those buyer clients and help them to look for the right property. I'll help them get into contract, and then after we close, they go right back into my CRM, this time as a closed buyer client. And then as a client, there's going to be a different workflow for past clients, so they'll receive a different set of emails. I will, of course, continue to call and follow up and build relationships with my clients. They will receive a different set of automated texts. And then, of course, if they haven't yet followed me on social media, I will continue to request that they do follow me on social media so that I can stay top of mind. And now if you look at the bottom portion for seller leads, I do those same 5 activities which generate me seller leads. They go into my CRM, which there will be a different workflow for seller leads. So they'll receive a different set of emails. I of course will call and follow up with all of my seller leads. They'll receive automated text from my CRM. And then one thing different that I do for sellers is I do send them out a physical piece of mail, whether that's a flyer or some type of a postcard, because I do want there to be something physical that they receive from me so that it helps further brand who I am and it helps to keep me top of mind. And then once again, I do request for all leads to follow me on social media. Eventually, through this nurturing process, those sellers become clients. When they're ready to sell their home, they list with me, I sell their property, and then they go right back into my CRM, this time as a past seller client, where there is a different workflow that will continue to keep me top of mind and help me to generate repeat business and then also referrals from those past clients. Now, if you don't have something set up like this is something that's mandatory. You have to set up this type of a system if you plan on becoming a lead machine, because you're going to generate leads and then you have to have a system that's going to help you nurture and convert those leads into clients. In this video, we talked about all of the different ways that you can generate leads. And then I've asked for you to select 5 different ways that you can generate leads and implement them into your business. And if you do that, you will become a lead machine. Now, once you start generating the leads, you need to know what to do with them. So I shared with you my lead management system, and you definitely need to have that in place if you want to capitalize on your ability to generate all of these leads. Now, if you have any questions about all of the different ways that you can generate leads and then how to put together the system, please do reach out. My name is Ahmad Homidi. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.